Alrighty, hello. Welcome to our move-in information session, Q&A here on Zoom for 2026 move-in for fall at the University of Pikeville. We are here to answer your questions. We have some information prepared we want to share, and we want to share our website and walk you through that information that's available there. But we're here to answer your questions. So what I want to do first is we've got a bunch of people here from our team, our move-in team here. So if we'll just kind of go around the room, staff, if you want to introduce yourself, and maybe say your title, of course, but then you can also say what type of questions you will be addressing. How about that? Brandy, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Brandy Gollihue, I'm the controller. Katie Eisenman and I will be the ones who will send you your move-in date and time and then let you know if there's anything else that you're still missing before move-in. So make sure you're checking your UPIKE email for that, and also make sure that you're paying attention to the time. It's very important that we stay as close to schedule as possible, but if that time doesn't work for you, just reply to that email and we'll see if we can find a different time, but we just don't want to have too many people coming unexpectedly and then have a big old bottleneck.
Good deal. Josh?
Howdy, my name's Josh Kelly. I'm the Director of Residence Life here at UPIKE. I can talk with you about anything assignment related. However, at this point, the majority of the students should have their assignments. If you have any specific questions, I can cover as general as we can on this group call. If it's something more specific, may need to wait till afterwards. Stick around. I'll stick on the call for a little while afterwards.
Perfect. Perfect. Chris, you want to introduce yourself and those guys with you?
Sure, I'll introduce myself. My name's Chris Robinson. I'm the Dean of Students. We're excited for your students to be arriving, and we hope that we're well prepared for you all. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us.
Good.
Shannon.
Hello, I'm Shannon Gerald. I'm the Patrol Lieutenant of Public Safety. So we'll be directing traffic during the move-in. So if you have any questions with that, let us know.
Good.
Hello, I'm Terry Wallace. I'm the Chief of Public Safety. We can handle anything safety related. Like Shannon said, anything to do with the traffic situation, parking permits, any of that, just reach out to us.
That's good. And Megan's here too. Megan's camera's not working, but Megan, do you care to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I don't know if it would be a Zoom if there wasn't some sort of tech issue. So I guess I'm the one, I'll take one for the team today. But I am the Dean of Student Success and I oversee our academic support offices, which includes your students, student success advisor. So any questions about schedule changes and things like that, I can assist with those or direct you to the right person.
Awesome. And I just realized I didn't introduce myself. So I'm Stephanie Stiltner. I'm with Family and New Student Connections. So if you've been to Growl, we've met at Growl, and I work a lot with first year experience and onboarding students. So is there anyone else in here? Did I miss anybody else at staff, part of our move-in team? Okay. Guys, if you, those of you that just introduced yourself, put your contact information in the chat if you don't mind. That way, if anybody needs to follow up, with you guys, they can do that via email. We will talk in general terms like Josh mentioned, but if you have specific questions, you're more than welcome to try to private message us here on the chat, but it's better to go ahead and email us because that way we have a permanent tracking of the conversation we have with you guys. Okay. What was I going to say? I forgot where we were going to get started. So we have students. I think it's safe to say we have students and families in the room. I know we had both of them register. I know most of you may be families. But if anybody is here just for one or two questions and wants to put those in the chat real quick, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to ask them my questions, and I got to hop off and get back to work or whatever you need to do, go ahead and put those in the chat, and we'll answer those as they come in because I know everybody's time. You may not be able to stay here for the full hour, but you do have some things you want answered. So we'll be watching for that. So Josh is going to try to monitor the chat. And Megan, do you care to type my information in there? My information in the chat while I try to do the...
I'm on it.
Thank you. I can't do two things at once. Okay, let me share my screen. All right. Tell me you guys can see that. Yes, no, head nod. You don't need that.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So this is our move-in page. Let me move this stuff out of the way. It's just upike.edu/move-in. And this has got all the information you need to go through move-in. There's lots of information on here. We're just going to go back through and start going through. Larissa, do you want to type your questions in the chat or do you want to do them verbally?
We already have a couple. I'll just go ahead and then Larissa, if you just want to message those in the chat, I'll read them out. So our first one is how tall is space under the bed in Page Hall? What kind of storage is available for clothing items?
Josh, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I'm getting the information pulled up
Okay.
here real quick.
Okay.
In Page Hall, the beds are adjustable, typically adjust from 18 inches to 30 inches off the ground.
And a lot of people get those like plastic storage drawers just from Walmart or Target or whatever. And I know they've used those a lot as extra storage for under the bed storage, right?
Yes, and there's also a dresser for every student in Page Hall. So if it's a bedroom with two people in it, there'll be two dressers, one for each student. Some students will take those dressers and put it under their bed as well. So each of the beds are tall enough for at least to put that under there.
Good. And there's an open hanging.
Josh, can you talk? Sorry, Steph. A couple different questions. So, Josh, can you just generally talk about the closet situations throughout those buildings?
So with Page Hall, the closet situation is there's at one end of the room, it's an open area, so it's not a closed off closet, but it's the width of that area of the room going from the wall to the door and plenty enough room for two students to hang up their shirts and pants that they don't want to fold up and get all wrinkly. Condit Hall, very similar situation. There's an open area in the room, goes from the wall, one side of the wall to the front door, with areas for students to hang up clothes there as well. Dariana Hall is just a little bit different. The area for the closet space, once again, it's open and it's a little bit smaller than the areas that you have for Condit and Page Hall. In Condit and Page, or Condit and Dariana, there's also some room on top of each of those closet spaces to take and store some stuff like shoe boxes, smaller items that don't really weigh too much.
Okay, perfect. Next question. We have a student who's going to come to Growl on the 18th, and probably several others on this call that are going to come do Growl and then move in after. So the question is, can anyone help navigate what parents can and can't do to help him move in while he's at Growl on the 18th? Brandy, do you want to start off on that one?
Yeah, I'll do that. First of all, just make sure everybody knows there is a parent portion of Growl. So during the Growl sessions, there will be there's some combined sessions, but there's also student-specific and parent-specific sessions. So most parents will be busy for most of the day as well as the students, but they have to complete Growl, do all the things we need to do, get their ID card, and they will actually move in after Growl. So they'll start the check-in process as soon as that's over.
Awesome. This question I actually don't feel like we usually get, and is a fabulous question. Haley's got a friend who's going to go to Union, and they're required a TB test before they're allowed to move in. So questions about if UPIKE has a requirement for that as well. I'm not sure who wants to take that, but
I'll take it. At this time, the institution does not require a TB skin test or immunization record at this time. Now, if they're going into a nursing program or another major program, there may be specific requirements for that program. And maybe Megan can answer that one for us.
Yeah, I believe nursing is the only one, and they have a specific orientation and kind of a list of those. So if any of your students are going into nursing, they should have already received that information. But I do think TB is required for nursing specifically. Okay, can you loft the beds in Dariana, Josh?
So lofting beds is not allowed. However, there are some people who end up getting bed risers, typically around no higher than 4 inches. A lot of students use those bed risers, and that's not lofting necessarily, but it does add that extra height to the beds. Megan, I think there's some more questions right in line here
Yeah,
about
I was about to say,
specific.
don't even mute yourself. You're going to be very popular. So you just go through those as you want.
So Page Hall, twin XL beds. Can the twin bed be extended to a twin XL? The only areas that we have true twin beds are in Dariana, and if it's a twin bed, it cannot be extended in that specific area due to space. However, most of our beds on campus are twin XL. See, next, can your parents take a desk chair home to store? No, do not remove our furniture from the res halls. What is the electric outlet situation in Page Hall? There's typically about one outlet per wall for the rooms. Do we need to furnish shower curtains? Shower curtains are already furnished in each of the residence hall spaces. Are there hangers or do students need to bring their own? Yes, students need to bring their own hangers. Does Page have a living room area? Page Hall does have a living area in each of the suites. It is central to the suite, and each of the bedrooms open out into it.
So on that next one, on move-in day, where do we go to drop off for Dariana? In the emails that you're going to get with your assigned date and time to move in, there's a map at the bottom of that email that has color-coded instructions. I can send it to Steph in just a minute, and she can, well, it might be up here.
This is the move-in, it's a driving map or driving video. So
Okay.
that they can show, if we have time at the end, we can show it here.
Yeah.
But you can watch that exact driving route and it'll tell you exactly where you go through. That there is additional maps on this website.
Yep, that one.
But the video is wonderful for those of us that are cartography challenged and can't read a map sometimes. I'm just saying, me. The videos really well too. So, but the thing is, I'm sure Chris will touch on this later, and Terry, that we plan to have volunteers and signage at every possible turn, everywhere that we can, that we will be directing you through that process. So, we will have help along the way. And once you get into town and you get to where you're starting for check-in at Bear Paws with the orange, it's got the orange indicators down here. Then we'll direct you from there as best we can.
And also just make sure that you have your student ID before you come to check in. If you, for some reason, don't have one, can't find it, or just concerned about it, email back, reply to the email with your move-in and let us know, and we can print a copy and have it with us at the check-in tent. But you are going to have that to be able to move in. And if you don't have one, we're going to have to make you park, go to the business office, get a new one. But if you let us know ahead of time that you've just lost yours, we can reprint a copy and bring it with us to check in.
And students have to bring their ID to check in, right?
Yes,
Parents cannot bring their ID to check in.
Correct.
Student has to have it in their hands and walk to the tent and talk to you guys and go through that process, right? Okay, just to say it out loud.
They can have parents with them, but the student needs to be there.
I know, but sometimes we like to divide and conquer. You go do this, then I'll do this, and we'll just meet up. But okay, just to be clear.
Yep.
Josh, are you next?
Wait, before we go back to Josh.
Oh, sorry.
Public safety folks in the room, if you're registered for a parking pass and then you get a different car, what do you need to do? You change the information on the current pass or register for another?
You do not change your current information. If you go into your parking app, you will see at the bottom that it says manage vehicles. So you just go in and add a vehicle to that, and it creates a whole different parking pass. You can do up to 5 of those a semester.
Oh, wow.
All right, Josh, back to you. Let's start with, does Paige have desks in the rooms?
Yes, Page Hall does have desks in the room. All of our residence halls provide, at the minimum, a bed, a dresser, a desk, and a desk chair. So
Great.
I'll go on down the row here because it looks like I have another block. Are we allowed to bring a mini fridge and microwave? Yes, you're allowed to bring a mini fridge and microwave. If you've already reached out to your roommate, I would suggest maybe seeing what they're going to bring as well and coordinate that with each other. Is there a common kitchen area in Dariana? There is not. There's some areas where you can gather uh, as a lounge space, but there is no common kitchen area. Do they need to bring cleaning supplies for the bathroom? In Dariana and Page Hall, the students are required for cleaning their bathrooms. Condit Hall has communal bathroom areas, so our housekeeping team does clean in that building. Do we provide couch or chairs for living room area and a TV? TVs would definitely be something you all need to require or provide on your own. However, we do have soft seating in the lounge spaces in each of the buildings. Now, it's probably not enough soft seating for if your student is social and brings a lot of friends over, but there is some soft seating. Apologies, I lost my space there for a second. Can or do we need to bring our dolly to move refrigerator to Condit? So we provide moving carts in each of the areas, uh, staged, and you're able to load all of your stuff into the moving cart. There's going to be volunteers placed strategically to help with unloading vehicles and putting those into moving carts. How tall are the beds in Dariana, and what are the average dimensions of the room in that hall? I'm afraid I can't really speak on average dimensions of that particular building. When it was built, pretty much all of the rooms was a little bit different shaped and have different dimensions. If you have your room number, which at this point you probably do have your room number, you can reach out to us at housing@upike.edu. Your area coordinator has a list of the different sizes for the rooms. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to respond with that information. Are air fryers allowed? Yes, air fryers are allowed. However, please keep it to some of the smaller ones. Don't get those combo units that also have the full microwave oven set up within it. Dimensions of rooms in Page Hall. Page Hall is one I can speak on for dimensions because pretty much all of those rooms are the same within an inch or two of each other. Be one moment and I'll get those pulled up. So Page Hall is typically 10 foot wide by 11 foot long in each of the rooms. Now, it will differ just a little bit, a couple inches here, a couple inches there, but for the most part, each of those rooms are about that same size. If we have to bring a second load on Saturday, what do we do? Public safety, would you like to cover that?
What was the question?
You have to bring a second load on Saturday. What do they do? I would.
Um, I don't really know how to answer that, I guess, but if you had to bring a second load, we would most definitely help you with that. Just do what?
Send them back to Josh's tent.
Yeah, you'd probably have to go back to the check-in tent and then make your way back up to your dorm room.
The next question, if I have a single room in Dariana, are there still two beds in the room? No, if it's a single room, it only has one bed in the room.
Brandy, is there a method to the time that you get for move-in?
Initially it's day of, so we have a whole list of everybody coming in on a certain day, and then we try to space them out by the building that they're going to. So we don't want, 30 to have to go through this process at Darien at a time. So we just spread them out from building to building so that the traffic kind of doesn't get all bogged up. But if you have a specific time that works better for you and you haven't gotten your date yet, then you can email us and let us know, and we can try and arrange that for you. Very few people really need a certain time that day. They just need to be here by the end of the day. So if there's something important that you need us to work around, we can try. Just send an email to my email above, and I can help you with that.
Stephanie, where do we go to check in or get started for Growl?
So all of our growl sessions are held in the Health Professions Building, with our College of Optometry, Chick-fil-A building, known to most people. So you'll park in the parking garage, and we will have growl leaders to direct you across campus. So start in the parking garage and then walk up to the pedway that connects to Record Memorial, and there will be students at every turn directing you from the parking garage to Health Professions, and then we will direct you around campus throughout the day as well as needed.
All right, Josh, unmute again. You'll be talking for a bit. Start with, are there measurements online of how long the desks are?
So the desk, we do not have those measurements online. Last couple of years, we've been attempting to continue standardizing all of the furniture in each of the residence halls. However, some of them do still have some furniture that, as far as desks and dressers are concerned, that are a little bit different in size than other rooms. But no, for those, we don't have anything available online. If you have specific questions about your room on that, you can email housing@upike.edu. Your area coordinator for that building should be able to help you with that question. And I'll continue on down the list here. Follow up, are the single rooms the same size as a regular room? So the single rooms in Dariana are typically a little bit smaller than the regular rooms. Next question, do you need to purchase trash cans or trash bags? I would say yes, definitely purchase trash cans and trash bags for your room. Out in the more common areas such as laundry rooms, hallways, and the communal bathroom in Dariana, there are trash cans and bags. However, those are going to be used by the entire floor and sometimes guests and passerby. So I would definitely keep a trash can and a trash bag in your own room. It doesn't have to be a huge can, maybe just something small that you can throw some food wrappers or something in from time to time. Next question, what conduit room dimensions? Conduit hall is typically about 12 and a half foot wide by about 13 foot long. Once again, conduit hall, all the rooms are pretty much the same. However, they will differ a couple inches here and there. Do you scatter roommates so they aren't moving in at the same time? Brandy, I think that might be one for you.
Yeah, we don't really, I mean, we try to just do it by building, but we don't get so granular that we look at room to room. But if we notice that it's two of you at the same time, we'll try to put you kind of close, but not on top of each other, just because we want you to get to meet, but not both of you have, like, you know, mom, dad, and you in the little doorway at the same time. So we try to space it out, but don't space it out too much. And if you don't move in, if your roommate doesn't move in on the same day, then obviously it's going to be just you on that day, and then you're moving on a different day.
Okay, so next question. I plan on bringing extra dresser for more storage. There be any weight restrictions? Should I plan on just bringing the plastic storage drawers instead? I would not bring an extra dresser, especially not like a full-size dresser you'll get from the furniture store. Um, you're sharing these rooms with a roommate. Space is going to become a premium for both of you. I would definitely stick with the plastic storage drawers. How tall are the beds in Conduit? Conduit Hall is adjustable, just like the Page Hall beds we talked about earlier. Once we have moved in the major things, if we make a Walmart run, will we need to get back in line to get back to the dorm, or will we be able to park somewhere? I think you should be able to park in the parking garage, and you can always take and carry those items back. However, if it's something that you plan on taking the vehicle back to the residence hall, in that case, you would have to get back in line.
Or I would suggest that maybe wait and do that after the end of move-in times for the day. That way you're just not, because you're going to be stuck behind whoever's in front of you. So if you do your Walmart run later, 4 or 5, or maybe around there, and come back, then you should be easier to get back to it.
Where do we take our trash to when it's full? There are dumpsters outside of Page Hall that you can take trash to. Condit and Dariana, typically the housekeeper is very good about helping if you take that trash and place it in a common area. Um, there's also a dumpster down the hill from the Condit and Dariana area. If it's something that's probably going to start smelling, I would definitely end up taking that to the dumpster, or recommend taking that to the dumpster. Now, as far as the move-in day itself, we do have extra help from our housekeepers when it comes to getting, stuff like cardboard trash out of the hallways, because we know that a lot of parents and students will end up bringing those things and unpacking and setting them up in the room. Is there a kitchen that the residents from Dariana have access to since they do not have a kitchen? We do not have a communal kitchen on campus. Are we allowed to place posters on the wall? You can put posters on the wall. What we do recommend is using something like the command strips or some sort of mounting putty. Please do not put any holes in the walls. And when it comes to the mounting strips, we do recommend the Command brand because they're easier to pull off of the wall without bringing the paint with them. How tall are the beds in Dariana? Dariana hall beds differ quite a lot depending on the room and the shape and size of the room. Can't really give average dimensions for those. Once again, if you already have your room assignment, please reach out to us, housing@upike.edu. I'm sure your area coordinator would be more than happy to help with that question. How much time are we given to move in on move-in day?
So we're splitting those times up throughout the day in like 30 to 40 minute increments, but you'll pull up to the building that you're going to move into. You'll take the stuff out of your car. There will be volunteers helping you to load them into like this big cart, just like a big giant square with wheels on it. You'll put your stuff into there, then you'll go park your car, come back. That will be in your room, and then you have as much time as you want to rearrange your stuff, put everything together, decorate, make your beds, all those things. Your only time limitation is how long you're going to be in your car in front of that drop-off area in the building.
I'm going to skip the question about beds and Kinzer. I have something I'm going to drop in the chat for any other questions about beds. Next one will be, is there a way to know what layout room or Dariana room is online, or is that a question for the housing email? Yes, that is a question for the housing email.
Hey, Brandy, I'm going to speak a little bit on the time on how long they have to unload.
Go for it.
Condit and Dariana, you spoke on it, but now some of our other dorms, Bears Towers, Kinzer, College Square, we usually allow 20, 25, 30 minutes to get your stuff, get it unloaded, get it in your room, and move to a designated area, which would either be the parking garage or behind Big Sandy Community College at the moment. That just allows other cars to come on in and keep moving at a pretty good pace.
Do you want to hop on, Chris, and kind of give like, in addition to the information that's on the website, do you want to kind of give a walkthrough of what to expect on move-in day? Just as they walk through, and just an overall overview of the day and what to expect.
Sure. So again, online, upike.edu/move-in. That's where we try to keep all the information at, the one source, the truths of move-in, so that everyone has that information. Steph, if you'll go down to the map real quick, we really want everyone to come into town, to come into downtown Pikeville via US 23, exit 23. And I think Steph is following there. That'll be Hambly Boulevard. You'll get to the second traffic light, H2 traffic light on Hambly, and they'll direct you down to the College Square area, Hoops. You'll pass the gym and Hoops facility, and Brandy and Josh and the Bear Paws group will be there. You'll check in, do all that. You'll exit the parking lot, and you'll turn right. There'll be officers on the street directing you. You'll get to the rear of Bears Tower. You'll turn right, and you'll travel past the city park and the parking garage. You'll turn left. You'll travel up Huffman Avenue to Hambly Boulevard. For those students that are going to Page and Spillman, you will turn left. You'll go in front of the parking garage and the new exciting Tanner College of Dental Medicine building that's being constructed. Officers will be in the street there to direct you up the hill toward Page and Spillman. For you folks, once you arrive at either Page, Spillman area, the Page area, there'll be some volunteers there that will help you unload your carts or your vehicle into carts, and they'll take it over and put it on the sidewalk for you. Due to the progress that's going on, we're trying to speed this up and be as efficient as possible. You will then immediately move your vehicle to the parking garage. Then you can come back, as Brandy said, you can hang out all day, all evening with your student, helping set up rooms. For you folks that are going to Condit and Dariana, very similar process. However, once you reach Hambly Boulevard at Huffman Avenue, aka the bottom of the 99, you will turn right. You'll travel Hambly Boulevard to Kentucky Avenue. You'll turn left onto Kentucky Avenue, and you'll travel up Kentucky Avenue near Armington Science Center. And we'll have a group of volunteers just staged outside the public safety office with those carts. Same process. We'll unload vehicles into carts rather quickly so that you can get back over to the parking garage, get parked, so that we can allow other folks to move in. And again, you're more than welcome to, once you move your car, hang out as long as you want, helping your kid get settled. If you get overwhelmed and you get overstimulated, when my daughter came to school here, looking at it from that perspective, I said, her and her mom can set up the room and do all that. I'm going to go somewhere and hang out. This year, we have a move-in operations center. There'll be signage on campus directing you to that area. If you want to come in, cool down, hang out, whatever that may look like, grab a snack, grab water. It'll be staffed during every scheduled move-in until move-in is over. That area will also serve as a general information hub as well. If you need something, stop by. We also have a dedicated phone number for that area that will only be in operation during the time of scheduled move-in. All that's online as well. But we want to attempt to remove as many barriers as possible to make sure that this is an experience that you and your student will always hold, and that it is a positive experience. We're committed, just as we've talked in Growl, we're committed to making sure that your experience is great and that the success follows that as well. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, you've got all of our information in the chat. Feel free to reach out to us.
Shannon, the next question is, when do I pick up my parking pass? Would you like to speak on that?
Sure. So parking passes can be picked up at the public safety office. Please don't come on a move-in day because we will not be in that office on that day. We'll be out directing traffic. So you can pick that up a few days after you move in. Very lenient until the first week of school on parking, which parking is limited on campus right now because of the dental school. So if you do park in the garage and you're saying, I don't need a parking pass, you do need a parking pass. Like if something happens to your car, PD responds to that. If you have a parking pass, they will get a hold of public safety to get a hold of you.
Megan, do you want to hop on and talk? This is a lot of moving stuff, and we will go back at the end and go back through the webpage a little bit to walk you through some of the additional information that's on there. But between Megan and Brandy, do you want to touch base on the checklist items and everything? Because we sent them home for Growl with homework in the resource guide. They have a whole full list, and you guys have been sending them different emails for housing and financial aid and business office. Transcripts are a big one. So do you guys want to just touch base on the things that they can take care of now before move-in day to make that even more smooth?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, so first of all, if you are a first-year student, you absolutely have to complete Growl before you can move in. So if you are virtual, then you would obviously do all the things that they need you to do before that is complete. And then if your move-in day is your Growl day, then you have to get through the entire day in the process before you can move in. It's a non-negotiable. You have to have applied for housing and gotten an assignment. You have to be registered full-time for the fall semester. And then from a financial aid standpoint, you have to file your FAFSA. If you're someone who is not going to file a FAFSA or take any financial aid and pay out of pocket, You have to make arrangements with me on the timing of that, but you will also have to complete a FAFSA waiver to let them know that you're not going to be filing once you stop getting those emails. But your FAFSA has to be complete, has to be imported into our system so we can tell you how much you owe. And then you will also get emails from financial aid to tell you to go and then sign your offer letter and accept or reject your aid. And your offer letter on self-service, which we talk about all this at Grau too. So if you haven't been yet, don't worry, we'll show you what to do there. But your offer letter on self-service is going to say, here's the aid that we feel at this moment you qualify for. So that's your chance to see if anything is missing. You can have conversations and say, I thought I was going to get some extra scholarship and I don't see it. Or if you have something on your package that you do not think you qualify for, or you don't know what it is, that is your chance to say, I'm not sure what this is and what it requires for me. And that is your agreement that what we think you're going to get, you also think you're going to get, and you sign it and you say, yes, I agree to this. If something changes and you get an additional scholarship, you'll have to do that process again. But it's just our way of making sure that you understand what your balance is going to be and give you a chance to talk about it before you get to that point. And then if you have filed your FAFSA and you've gotten selected for verification, or if any issues have popped up, you will get an email about that. And those things have to be resolved before you move in, just so we can make sure that you understand what your balance is going to be before you ever get started. And when you get the emails from Katie for your move-in date and time, you'll get one a few weeks before your move-in date, and most of you have probably already gotten one at least. But it'll say before you move in, you have to do these things, and then you'll get a separate one that says, here's your move-in date and time. So if you don't get the email that says you still have things to do, that means you're done, you're clear, you're ready to go, and you'll just have to wait on your date and time.
Okay, I'll jump in too. Before I do, yes, Growl is the same thing as your orientation day. So from the academic side of things, the biggest thing is going to be transcripts. So students are obviously required to send in their final official transcript from high school. Usually the guidance counselors are really good about doing that, but occasionally, it's summer, and so sometimes you may have to request that again, especially if, your student had planned to go somewhere else. Maybe the guidance counselor sent it there and then, changed their mind. And so we just want to make sure that we have that. The other thing is if they took any courses that were dual credit while they were in high school, including if they did early college academy or if they took true transfer work, then those transcripts have to be requested from the college that they attended. The high school transcript is not sufficient to give them credit for those college level classes. So, for instance, when I was in high school, I took a few classes through Morehead State, I would have to go online and request that transcript from Morehead State. It's a very simple process. And honestly, the quickest way that I usually tell students to do is to Google whatever that school is and add transcript request. And it's usually going to come from Parchment or National Clearinghouse. And they can request it to be sent to We Want You at upike.edu. That's the admissions email group. And so once that's received, admissions will send that over to our registrar's office. The registrar's office will evaluate the transcript and give credit for whatever the equivalent courses are here at UPIKE. And then after that is when their student success advisor will actually be able to see what credit has been given. So if you came to Growl and your student is a little worried because maybe they have a class on their schedule that they've already taken, that's just because we don't have the transcript in yet. And some classes, it will not allow us to bypass that because it's a prereq for another course. So transcripts are very, very important. Usually official transcripts are costing anywhere between $10 and $15. I think usually 12. So please help them get those requested and sent in very soon. The other thing is, they would have met with their advisor when they came to Growl. If the student hasn't come to Growl yet, the advisor may have already reached out, but if they are coming in August, they may not have yet, just because we do those as they are scheduled throughout the summer. I'm going to drop an email that students can reach out to. It has to be the student, but students can reach out to if for some reason they didn't get their advisor's phone number saved when they were at Growl, and we'll be happy to help them there. Stephanie, is there anything else I didn't cover?
I think that was it. I know this is super transcript season. And those, like she said, as soon as possible, we get those in. And what's the deadline? Even if, because Megan, I think sometimes that if there's a delay in a transcript, students can't change their schedule after what date? Classes start August 24th.
So there's what we call an add drop period. Usually the second day of classes is the last day that a student can fully register. And then the day after that is the last day that they can add. And then the day after that is typically when they can drop. So their advisor will also be sending out reminder emails to let them know when that is. The big thing is, just making sure that they communicate with their advisor if there is something that they want to change. However, we do sometimes have students who never get those transcripts sent in before the semester starts. They actually get a hold put on their account. And when they go to register for spring, they won't be allowed to until we get that transcript in, until that hold's resolved. So especially if they're expecting credit from somewhere else, we need that now. But even if it's just a high school transcript, there will be a point where they'll kind of be paused and not allowed to register again until they get that in.
Good. I'm going to hop back up here to this question. Haley, I'm so glad you asked this question. Have they released the first week schedule yet? No, we're releasing it this week, but because you're here and you joined us live, I'm going to put it in the chat. So you guys get the first look at it. Drum roll, please. It will be released broadly on social media, and we have we have a first week website that you'll be able to go to. But that PDF in the chat that I responded to you, Haley, is the first week schedule. You can let us know if you have any questions. I don't know if I can pull it up. Does it share my screen if I pull it up? I don't know if I could switch to share that screen or not. Let me share, see if I can share another way. Yes. Okay, now are you seeing the UPIKE first week schedule? Yes, no, maybe. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm not going to go through everything, but I did want to point out, this is the first week schedule. There'll be more detailed information when students arrive on campus. But I did want to point out, if you're living on campus, which that's why we're here, right? All residence hall students have to attend their residence hall meeting. They're broken down by, that is the night of move-in. So we give you plenty of time to move in, but those residence hall meetings start at 6 and 7. Okay, then we start having our first week events that evening. So those are required. Josh, is there anything you want to say about those?
Please come to the meeting. This will be the first time you meet all the Res Life staff together. We also invite public safety to come over to these Res Hall meetings so that you all can meet them as well. This year we have had some overflow that goes into Spillman Hall as well. So those first year incoming students who are in Spillman Hall will be invited to those Res Hall meetings and need to come as well.
Okay. You'll notice that we have asterisks on the events that are required. There's some events that we have to do annually to share information with their students as they come onto campus. So these are required. Oh, I got too excited. A lot of the other events are optional. The evening events, and usually the fun stuff is optional. So we understand that commuters may not be able to come to campus twice, or you got different situations and other commitments of the evenings. But the required events, we want everybody to attend. We do take attendance, and we make sure that we track that you guys have attended those. So there's lots of fun things. There'll be more information coming out about those. Everybody comes, incoming first year students, transfer students, commuters, and residents come to the ones that are required. Okay. Nursing students do not have to attend this session, but that's the only one that nursing students don't have to attend. And then all of this information, 5 days and nights of activities, are for students, incoming students, but we do encourage families to come to the climb. That's on the Friday night after move-in, 8 o'clock here on the plaza and down the 99. We talked about that during Growl. We invite families to come back for that. And then we go all the way through till Sunday evening till classes begin that Monday morning. We have shared a draft with the coaches, but we will share the final version with the coaches so they know that because I know there's lots of onboarding information for athletes. You got to meet with athletic training, or you need to do your physical, or there's a team meeting, or there's practice. We have worked with all of the coaching staff so they know this schedule as well. So if there's any conflicts, you can let me know or let your coach know, but they know overall for the required events that you guys need to be there. Okay. I'm gonna scroll down on. I think that probably answers the first week question. Brandy, do you want to take okay. Brand got that one. The top scholarship, about some athletic scholarships, or even general other outside scholarships that aren't applying yet.
Sure. So for athletic scholarships, the athletic department uses a software called Teamworks. That is where I think that they talk to you about other things, like they put practice schedules and all that stuff in there. But your scholarship documentation is going to be in Teamworks. So the coach initiates it, and then it sends out something to you as the student to read and sign. Just make sure that when you're looking at it, it's the amount that you think it's going to be. Make sure that you understand whether the amount is per year, per semester, just all the details of it. Obviously, if you stop being a part of that team, whatever that may be, then the scholarship could be prorated and then the next semester not be on there at all. But you will have to sign it, and then it will go to the athletic director. Once that signature is on there, then it goes to financial aid and it is posted to your account. All of your aid is going to be pending until the end of the first week of class. So when you look on self-service, you're going to see it. You're going to see the aid, but it's not going to apply directly to your balance until we get through that drop add period. Make sure you stay full time, nothing changes, you don't leave, whatever. And then it posts to your account. But if you're not seeing something, it's because financial aid does not have enough documentation to put it on your account. So just if you have Teamworks, look in there and see if it's something that's waiting on you to sign. If you don't see anything in your Teamworks, talk to your coach and ask him if he's or she has initiated that scholarship yet. Because it has to go through that whole process before we see it. If you have something else, an outside scholarship, so maybe UPIKE doesn't determine it, but you've done something for, you wrote an essay, you got something because of something you did in high school, church, other organizations giving you money, that information needs to come to us, the payments come to us, and it becomes a part of your financial aid package, but it's not necessarily we're going to decide whether you get it or not. If you need help with something, because some of the scholarships, sometimes they will need either the business office or financial aid to verify enrollment or verify balance due or any of those things, let us know. You can reach out at any point in time and we can help you with whatever documentation you have. And then if you see something on your account and you're not sure what it is, also reach out to that, because it could be something that is an outside scholarship that we've already gotten for you, and maybe you just didn't know it was coming yet. So all those things are, ask the questions all summer. We're always open, financial aid and the business office. We both, and I'll put the emails in the group chat. There are emails that go to multiple people in the office. So if one person's out, you don't have to wait till somebody gets back in to give you an answer. But as you're sitting there packing up, getting ready to go ahead and ask those questions just so you're comfortable before you get here. And then move-in day can be normally stressful with the heat and the stuff that you have to do, and you won't have to also worry about all your financial stuff.
There are two questions I'm going to send Chris's way. The first one really is for our public safety guys there, really having to do with when they can get their parking pass. So one specifically, can we get our parking pass on Friday at Growl? And then the other is just kind of when they can get that.
So parking passes, I mean, if you're at Growl, no, don't come, because we'll be out directing traffic, as I said before. So anytime that there's not a move-in or a Growl, you can stop by and get your parking pass. Make sure you've done it online first before you come to the office, because if you haven't done it online, then we don't have it yet, and we can't give you a permit without you doing it online. And
Okay.
what was that?
And the next one's going to be, I was going to see, I know that Stephanie put some information also, but wanted to see, Chris, if you want to talk a little bit about the involvement fair. And because we got a question about within the first week, are we going to find out more about the clubs offered? So Stephanie has shared, that our growl leaders, our first week ambassadors can answer general information about that. But Chris, do you want to talk about that event?
Yeah, sure. So the actual involvement fair, it'll be September the 15th. Our street fair will be August the 25th, and there will be clubs and orgs represented there as well. Also, I highly recommend reaching out to activities at upike.edu. If your student wants to start a club or org, I definitely recommend that. They may be able to check and see if there is currently a club and org that they want to join, but if nothing sparks their interest, and just as I share at Growl, get involved and get involved early. We'd be more than happy to share that. Again, activities at upike.edu. You can send those messages there. Also, on the days of Growl Street Fair, Student Affairs is represented at the street fair, and our folks with the Center for Student Engagement are present. Feel free to stop by and speak with them as well, and encourage your student to get involved and get involved early.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. We also got a question about when students get the form to sign for parents to have access to student records. And I put a quick response there in the chat, but I'll share also. During UPIKE first week, students will be given the opportunity to complete those. They'll turn those into us. We'll share it with the registrar's office, and then those will be recorded in our system. The students, there's a couple different things on the form there. It gets pretty granular. Students have to list anyone who they want to be able to contact on their behalf. They have to put a password on it. And so, if your student does want to complete that form, please just make sure that they put that password somewhere so they can remember it. And then they can also select what sort of information can be shared, whether it's financial, academic, things like that. And it is difficult sometimes to understand what the limits are with FERPA. A lot of the conversations that any of us have in this room, we can share, the general information, but even with a signed FERPA form, there's still going to be some limits as to what we can share, even down to grade information, things like that. But they will have that opportunity to sign during first week, and then once the semester starts, if for some reason they didn't get to sign one or they forgot to turn it in or things like that, if they go to the registrar's office, they can help them with that.
I noticed we're right at 1 o'clock. Questions seem to be slowing down some. So we'll still watch the chat till we close, but is there any closing remarks that you guys want to say, Brandy, Chris, and your teams to say, to make sure we covered? Or are we good? Brandy, you want to say your top three, the top thing everybody's supposed to do? Check their UPIKE email.
Yeah, check your UPIKE email, drink plenty of water, and call your mom.
Yeah.
Like all the time. Or your dad or your grandma or your best friend or whoever your person is. Just make sure they know, because they're going to be super sad, and it's going to feel really good for them to get a cuddle from you.
Love that.
I've been through this. I've had a kid, had to move her in. She was right here. We're done. We've done all the things, but it was still super sad and hard because they do grow up and it hurts your feelings.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal for everybody.
Deal.
It is. It's one of those moments, you pinpoint in your timeline, So I think that's
a canon event as a parent.
Yes. Megan, do you have anything? Are we good?
Honestly, I mean, if it makes anybody in the room feel better, Brandy also often tells me to drink more water. So it's great advice, especially during move-in. It'll be hot, it'll be sweaty, it'll be exciting. There might be some tears. So, water is very important, but absolutely check your email, keep checking your email, check your Canvas once the semester starts as a student. And I mean, really the big thing that I think everybody in this room hopes that you take away from this is that we're here to help. You can contact any of those emails and numbers that we've dropped in the chat with questions. I'm the worst for not thinking of a question at the time, and then I'm driving home that day where I do my best thinking, and then I have 42 questions. So, if that happens, feel free to reach out to any of us. That is what we're here for. And drink water.
Awesome. Josh, you have anything?
No, I don't have anything specific. I feel everybody's really touched on everything today, especially the keep in touch with your parents or your people.
Okay, Chris, do you want to wrap it up?
Sure, I can attempt to do that. You guys set the standard rather high. In case you didn't understand, drink more water, keep in contact with your people. We're excited that you have chosen the University of Pikeville. We want to make sure that we support you guys and we take care of you. We want to make sure that this experience is unforgettable. If you have issues, if you have concerns during move-in, reach out to someone. Everyone will have a ID that identifies that they're a volunteer. If they're a student leader, a staff member, a faculty member, reach out to them. They will be more than willing to help you or get you in contact with the folks who can help you. And always remember, this is a very stressful time for everyone, very emotional. Be willing to give grace and slow down and enjoy these moments. Again, we appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing your students and you all as well.
All righty. Thanks, everybody.